Today at Bushcraft Northwest, I go through my backpack to show you the gear that I have trusted and relied on over the last 20 plus years, as well as a little bit about the companies that make them and why I chose those items. Stay tuned and enjoy the video. Let's first start with cooking gear, because I think that a lot of people carry too much stuff. When I work with folks and trying to lighten their backpacks, usually we start with what are they bringing for cookware and their sleep systems. In my book, 21st Century Bushcraft, I go through traditional cooking methods. That's not just to be period correct or anything like that. It's because it's very functional and it allows you to carry less stuff, and variations in cooking methods allow you to cook more food than small campware. Also, if you live in an area where there's a lot of predators, you don't have to worry about cleaning and doing dishes or having food aromas. That stuff can just get thrown in the fire. That being said, there are some times and there's some things that you sort of have to bring. One of those is a way to boil water. So I have two systems I like for that. One of these is the bot. This is a titanium bottle pot. That's why it's called a bot. And you can carry water in it. It's dual purpose. I love dual purpose items. So this locks down, has a silicone seal in there so you can carry water, or you can cook in it and flip the lid upside down like so. You can also hang this, which is very nice. They sell this optional little hanger, and that just goes underneath like so. And you pick this up, and then you can hang this over a fire. How this comes from the factory is this is about 3 feet long. I don't know why they do that, but I just clip the wire and then reattach that the metal clamp for a much more usable length for me anyway. If you're not familiar with heavy cover, definitely check out this company. They make high quality titanium gear, and they make their products out of a thicker stock than I found in other manufacturers. I'm a big fan of their GI canteen. It's a modern take on a timeless classic. You have your cup that also has a lid like that, and your bottle nests in that. Same idea, dual purpose in that I can carry water and also have a little cook set, which is very handy. Another heavy cover item that I'll bring if I think I'm going to need it is their skillet. All right, fantastic skillet, really heavy duty again, not some super thin titanium that just sort of burns right in the center. I avoid non-stick surfaces and additions to cookware. Learn how to cook the proper way. What you want to do is have this goes for at home too, your pan's hot and your oil or butter or fat cold when it goes in. And that creates a very non-stick type surface that makes cleanup easier, and you're not wasting food inside your pan. Another tip is to keep that surface really clean, because food will stick to that as well. But there's no need for any of that Teflon or non-stick surfaces. This is the stove that I've used over the years. Really like this. This is made by Evernew. It's basically I guess an expensive hobo type can stove, but has a few nice little features in that you can burn wood or you can burn alcohol in here. This is set up right now for the alcohol. This is, you can see the stove itself, and it nests inside there, and then you just have a little heat reflector, and then that goes on the top, and you can cook right in there, or you can use this how I use it most of the time, which is to burn wood. That goes in the bottom, and then this just goes right on top like so. And there's your nice little way to contain your embers. I cook most of the time on open fire, but when there's burn bans or if there's anything, any danger like that, I'll either burn wood and keep it in here, or in the case where wood is not allowed, I'll use the alcohol stove. And if you use an alcohol stove, you're going to need a way to carry the fuel around. For me, the Vargo titanium flask is the way to go. It's lightweight, non-corrosive, and that silicone funnel that is part of the flask is just brilliant. Makes filling up easy, and you don't have to keep track of a separate item. One little tip I'll give you is that I burn grain alcohol like Everclear, the type of stuff that you would get at a liquor store. And the reason for that is that, again, it's multi-purpose. I can use it for first aid, I can use it in my stove, but also because it's not toxic like a rubbing alcohol or something from the pharmacy, you can use it to clean utensils, cutting boards. A great way to clean your hydration bladders is to pour a couple tablespoons of the Everclear grain alcohol into the bladder, swish it around, run it through the hose a few times, swish it around and run it out, and that is absolutely sterile, and I personally think really beats those cleaning tablets and all that nonsense that they want to sell you. Really unnecessary. A lot of uses for grain alcohol. I just buy the generic one. It's called Clear Springs here in the Northwest. I don't know what might be available by you. You don't need to buy name brand Everclear. But anyway, great little tip there, and a great product that you might even want to buy as a gift for someone who enjoys whiskey or anything like that. Another little tip for packing your food. Again, I don't carry Mountain House type dehydrated meals. I prefer to cook fresh food. It really doesn't weigh anything extra, and it's just so much better for you and tastier. So a couple little tips though about how to carry food so you don't have garbage like you do with those dehydrated meals and all those plastic or foil packs that you have to carry around with you that again smell like food. Is to use things that you can burn. These are egg cartons that come with those food delivery services now, like Blue Apron, things like that. So if you don't do that yourself, I'm sure you probably know somebody who would save these for you. These are great. You can carry eggs and then just burn these afterwards. Another great little tip is to carry wax paper bags of various sizes. You can put rice or you can even put like things like your power bars or anything like that in these bags, and then I just write whatever it is on top here, and I can burn the bag when I'm done. All right, let's look at my sleep system now. We can cut a lot of weight and still be very comfortable, even more comfortable actually than some of these heavier systems. This is my tent. Love this tent. It's made by Six Moon Designs. It's called the Lunar Solo. They make a Lunar Duo as well. It's a single pole design. You can get the pole, or you can use a trekking pole, or you can cut a branch of the same height. It's up to you. I typically use a trekking pole when I'm hiking, but if I'm motorcycle camping or canoeing, anything like that where I'm not really using a trekking pole, then I did purchase the single pole there. Fantastic. This is one of those items I wish I would have thought of. It is a single wall tent, but it has incredible venting in the front. Also, you have this venting all around the inside of the tent that really minimizes the water vapor buildup on the inside. So just a fantastic tent. 30 ounces. I mean, I use it year round. It's just incredible. Now in summer, I'll just bring the tent, and that's it. Because in summertime, all you're really doing is using a tent to store gear and sleep and get out of bugs, really. You don't really live in a tent necessarily. But in the wintertime, or really any of the other seasons, whether there's rain or snow to contend with, you want to be able to be outside. You don't want to live in a little plastic bag. And so that's when a tarp really shines. I won't go through how I set up my tarps because there's videos that I've made. You can watch those, or you can refer to my book about how to set up. But a tarp is a great addition to your winter, fall, spring setup. So I set up my tent, and then this goes out in front. So I have a beautiful area that's dry. So even if it's dark or rainy and snowy, I can get out, I can build a little fire, I can, cook and have fun. If you have a friend that also runs a tent, you can hook them together and have a huge area of dry space to enjoy. You don't want to, again, live in a plastic bag. That's why nobody camps or does anything in the other than the summer months, because they don't really know how to enjoy and maximize their sleep setups and their shelters for inclement weather. So, yeah, tarp, invaluable piece of kit. There are a lot of high quality tarps out there to choose from. I've had excellent luck with the Equinox Globe Skimmer brand, Sil Nylon, Ultralight, and Ultra Tough. They also make a superior poncho shelter. At under 7 ounces, it's a must-have for your day packs and emergency kits. Another invaluable piece of kit is your sleeping pad. We spend a lot of money on sleeping bags often, and we neglect to spend the money and time in picking out a good sleeping mat. And this is really where you're going to lose heat. When you sleep in your bag, that bottom insulation, doesn't matter what it is, it gets compressed to nothing, and so you are basically leaking heat downwards into the ground if you don't break that connection. And so I really like the Thermarest X-Therm. This is a game changer. I'll tell you what, it almost feels like you're on an electric blanket. I mean, it radiates so much heat back up. It's so comfortable, and you don't want to sacrifice your sleep. This is where you want to spend some money. Don't buy the expensive custom knife if you can't afford it right away. You don't need that, but you need a good sleep system that will keep you warm and comfortable. Just a great innovation, the backpacking quilt. This one has a closed foot box, so you slide your pad in there, and then it has these little kind of grommets that have some shock cord zips in and out of there, and that way it keeps you on your pad and kind of seals around the pad. Again, because your sleeping bag is completely, mushed underneath you, does nothing down there. So great way to save weight. And in the summer, I don't use the shock cord. I just use it like a quilt, and very, very comfortable. And so look into quilts. I highly recommend the quilt system over the sleeping bag for both comfort and weight savings. No zippers either, which is nice. For those of you who like to fish, check out this mini Tenkara rod from Tenkara Rod Company. This is just absolutely brilliant for small to medium sized streams. This little rod here, this tiny little rod case, actually holds a telescoping carbon fiber fishing rod that goes out to 11 feet. Just fantastic for fly fishing, for trout and things like small panfish, stuff like that. Just brilliant. I have this all the time because it weighs nothing. You can see there, it's just a very nice lightweight package. And this is basically all my tackle. So this is the float line and some leader and some flies. And then to be able to go into streams without freezing my feet, I'll pack these fly fishing neoprene socks. They have a little traction down there, and I'll pack some Teva river shoes, the Teva type river sandal, for more grip and to protect my feet a little bit. But this keeps your feet nice and warm. And also, even if I'm not fishing, I'll still bring these along, because it's great to take your boots off when you're done hiking all day. I don't really want to put my boots on every time I have to step out of the tent, and so these will double as just kind of almost like camp slippers. I highly recommend you invest in some of these. Again, even if you don't fish. For first aid, you really can't beat Adventure Medical. They've been doing it a while, and they make various sizes. I have the medical kit 0.5 for myself, and I just amended it with various other things. There's a tourniquet and some other, things like that that I've added to what they provide. But it's a great stock kind of get started first aid kit for you to build on, and it's waterproof. So again, Adventure Medical, great company to look to for your first aid. Now on to some accessories. I really only trust Suunto compasses. Suunto, still made in Scandinavia, just a fantastic company. This is my height and distance trigonometry calculator that, you could see that on other videos or in my book about how I use that. But Suunto, definitely the compass manufacturer that you want to trust. In terms of my water carrying and purifying system, I like bladders because, again, it's dual purpose. It'll purify my water or filter my water, right? But also, if you're not just camping next to water sources, and you're doing more bushwhacking type stuff, water is something you'll want to bring with you to camp. And a bladder allows you to carry, well, at least a gallon or more, depending on the system that you choose. This one was made by Health Shield. I got this through a Red Cross distributor long time ago, but it's been great. There's other manufacturers that make them, but they're not as popular as the pump systems or the bottles now, things like that. But I think that's because most people, again, just camp at authorized sort of campsites, usually by water, and that's all they really need. Whereas if you're doing a little bit more exploring, you want to be able to bring water with you. So dual purpose, check out the bag systems. Some other items you'll find in my pack include fire lighting kit from Exotac. I love their fire rod, nano striker, and match cap. Mad Rock for climbing gear, and of course, a good survival kit. Don't forget about your electronics and be sure you have a way to keep your phone and GPS units safe and dry. In addition to that, I carry various tools such as my paku and a good assortment of knives depending on where I'm going and what I need. I guess the last thing I want to show you is my backpack itself. This one is a Katahdin made by Equinox again. It's a frameless pack. I really like frameless packs for anything except for maybe hunting and stuff like that. But the reason is they're very light. It's I think this pack itself weighs 20 some ounces, 28 ounces maybe. And it has all the modern kind of straps and hip belts and things like that, but you're not carrying all that extra weight in the frame. But to give the pack structure, what I do is I use a foam sleeping mat, just an inexpensive one. You don't have to buy anything crazy or super thick, but this provides structure again for the pack, but also in camp has a lot of great uses. I don't use a ground cloth for my tent. What I do is I unroll this and I put it underneath the area where I'll be sleeping and sitting inside the tent. That way I'm not putting extra wear and tear on that thermarest, because it is an air mattress, and I certainly don't want to take any chances of puncturing that thing. So this way I'm not just sitting on the hard ground. It gives me a little bit of cushion, gives you a little extra warmth also when you're sleeping, and it's nice to just have a mat around camp. You can just take it out from under the tent and just use it while you're sitting around your fire or anything like that. So again, multiple use item, very handy. And inside I use a large roll top dry bag that keeps everything dry, and tools and my tarp and things like that go on the outside, so that way I don't get my my clothes and things that I really want to stay dry wet. So all of that kind of stuff lives outside of this dry bag system. All right, I think that does it for today. I hope that you enjoyed the video and it gave you some ideas in terms of gear companies, maybe some ways to streamline your own system and cut some weight while still being prepared and comfortable for your backcountry adventures. As always, we appreciate your views. Please like and subscribe the video so I can continue to make content like this. And until next time, take good care. See you on the trail.